Good morning, one and all. This is Siddharth from S1B Code. So, today I'm going to do a review of a special book written by a special personality. The key motivator, the people's president, APJ Abdul Kalam's Wings of Fire. As we all know, APJ is a renowned Indian scientist who went on to become 11th President of India. He is a recipient of India's three highest civilian awards, Padma Bhushan, Padma Vibhushan and Bharat Ratna. He was the third President of India to have been awarded by Bharat Ratna, and also the first scientist and the first bachelor to occupy Rashtra Bhavan. Before talking about Wings of Fire, we want to talk about another person, that is Arun Tiwari. Tiwari sir is an Indian missile scientist, professor and an author. He has written many books, including 5 books co-authored with APJ sir. Wings of Fire covers Kalam sir's life before he became President of India. It was published in 1999. It became a modern classic with over 30 reprints selling over 1 million copies and was translated into 18 languages. In 2013, another autobiography titled My Journey Transforming Dreams into Actions was released. It's the continuation of this book itself. The biography, first published in English, has so far been translated into many languages including English, Hindi, Bangla, Bengali, Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, Odi, Marathi and Gujarati. Outside the major Indian languages, Wings of Fire has also been translated into Chinese and French by various translators. Wings of Fire covers Kalam's early life and his work in Indian space research and missile programs. It's a story of a boy from an humble background who went on to become a key player in India's space research. So, as we can say, he mainly participated in missile programs. And apart from the very indicative title, the chapters of the book are also so touching. The first one is orientation, creation, propitiation and contemplation. Kalam sir in the first segment describes briefly about his family, about his father who till his death was a very good motivator of APJ sir. His father was very religious and a spiritual person, and his mother Aisha Amma was very caring. When talking about his brothers and sisters, his sister Suhara, as we can read in the second segment, has given a lot of help for his father's studies. And of course his friends and the teachers who mentored him. I loved the initial chapters of the Wings of Fire most, since it gives a vivid picture of our country during 1930s and 1950s. Kalam sir, as we all know, that was born in Rameswaram, southern religious town in Tamil Nadu. It's famous for the famous Shiva temple. He says that it was only 10 minutes walk from their house. Their locality was predominantly Muslim, but there were quite a few Hindu families too. Religious discrimination was unknown at that time. A passage that shows the closeness they had was the high priest of Rameshwaram temple, Pakshi Lakshmana Shastri was a very close friend of my father's. One of the most vivid memories of my early childhood is of the two men, each in his traditional attire, discussing spiritual matters. In the second segment, Kalam sir takes us through his school and college life, the different teachers and professors who shaped him, followed by his first job interviews and job experiences. Kalam sir started his career in aeronautical development establishment and was involved in designing hovercraft, first model in India. Later he moved to Indian Space Research, which was the brainchild of Vikram Sarabhai. In 1963, Kalam sir went to NASA facility in Maryland as part of training program on sounding rocket launching techniques. And the book covers a lot of behind the scene information and technical details about India's satellite and missile programs. Mostly about SLV-3, Prithvi, Agni, Trishul, Akash and Naga missiles. The third section, that's propagation, deals around mostly in 1980s when Kalam sir joined back in DRDO as its director, and we can see first-hand accounts on some of the most incredible scientific innovations like PSLV launch vehicle and many of the ballistic missile series. His effective effort in making healthcare products using same missile technology, and by reading this chapter as a whole we can know how he earned the title as a missile man of India. In this section he also pays tribute to the great scientific minds in Indian space journey. The most eminent persons we should talk about here are Vikram Sarabhai and Dr. Brahm Prakash, and their contributions towards ISRO. The last chapter are some of Vikram Sarabhai's immense contribution in establishment of Space Research Center and opening up new fields for coming scientists. Abdul Kalam's effort in association with other scientists would make ordinary Indian understand the zeal, the effort of human soul in making India a well-respected country in space science. The last part of Wings of Fire, contemplation, which provides a lot of motivation to the young people. In last part we find Kalam's acting the role as scientific advisor to Indian Defence Minister. That it's around 1990s, and in this phase of life he contributed heavily to the nation, becoming a nuclear power and reaching its nuclear destiny with the successful nuclear test at Pokhran, Rajasthan in 1998 with codename Smiling Buddha. We can also see in the last part that Kalam sir would go on to be bestowed out with country's top 3 civilian awards, that's Bharat Ratna in 1997, Padma Vibhushan in 1990 and Padma Bhushan in 1981. Overall, he boasted an astounding haul of honorary degrees from 30 plus universities from across the planet. The section also notes ideas, his contemplations and advices for the future of India, culminating into Kalam's Vision 2020. We all are born with a divine fire within us, and this book is about giving wings to that fire. Now we come to the conclusion. This book contains the life of a simple yet determined person. There is so much of knowledge and good things that everybody can extract from this book. Reading this book is a very heartwarming and beautiful experience. This book contains a very detailed description of how great things can be achieved through simple thoughts. The book conveys the message of authors that always keep your dream high, goals clear, plan perfect, and do hard work. I strongly suggest never miss reading this great book if you haven't yet. It is sure that it will act as a combustion fuel for your better future. I would like to conclude by telling a quote by Kalam sir. What you imagine is what you transpire. What you believe is what you achieve. Jai Hind.